Mr. Wells, Michelle Rhee has blown up the school system and tried to right it. What is your view on that?
Well, starting with Kojo's question about where I see education reform, as you know, I was on the school board and it started with Dr. Janey, that I'm very proud of the renaissance we've seen of the Ward 6 schools. We have 10 elementary schools. We've got waiting lists at 5 of them. The population's coming up. They become schools of choice. And then I believe that in partnering with Michelle Rhee, we've made more progress. These are not magnet schools. These are traditional public elementary schools. And nowhere else in urban America have you seen a renaissance like what we've seen in Ward 6. It's a model for the city. I'm proud of it because people are saying, I'm going to stay here and keep my kids here.
Why do you characterize it as a renaissance?
Because we were looking at closing schools. Our schools were under-enrolled. I look at it as a renaissance that our schools are viewed schools of choice again. That is, and they're offering more things than they've ever offered before. You go to our schools and you see what's going on at our schools. Our parents are choosing the schools again. It's very exciting. Where before, people were viewing the school system as a failure. And as you know, Kojo, I've been involved in this since the school board. I'm very proud of what we've accomplished. Next, we got to get our middle schools to be schools of choice. And then today, we opened Eastern High School cut the ribbon on a brand new high school that has remade itself and will be letting in new students starting at the 9th grade next fall. They have an IB program. What we're doing in Ward 6...
What's a what program?
International Baccalaureate program.
Okay.
And that...
Some of us aren't as well educated in these.
I knew what it was, but you were running around twittering on Monday, going to schools, tweeting that every school you saw had greater than expected enrollment. Is that verifiable in fact?
Oh, well, I trust my principals. I said, how many students have showed up? I know you had a projection. And each one has said, we've got more students than what we projected, which means that some of those schools are having to add teachers. This is extraordinary. I'm very proud of it. It's not, Michelle Rhee's been a great partner, but it's not just Michelle Rhee. It's our city. I do think that school governance has helped to put the investment in our schools. We are really making a comeback in Ward 6 schools.
Kelvin Robinson, let me turn that around. You seem to be concerned about teachers. Tommy Wells says that more kids are enrolling in school. Is it about the kids? Is it about the teachers?
It's about both. I think it's the fact of the matter, you have to have good qualified teachers in order to make progress. And I think that...
Why do you think enrollment is increasing in the schools in Ward 6?
Well, I think there's a lot of activity where people are clamoring for neighborhood schools. And the fact of the matter is, in the Eastern situation where we have a brand new school that's been fully renovated, we don't have a 9th grade that's coming in this year.
Are you talking about Eastern High School?
Exactly. And that's not a neighborhood school for at least those, 300 or so neighborhood children who want to have access to Eastern, nor will they allow that same crew to come in the 10th grade. And as a result, I'm not sure that those kids will ever be able to walk to their neighborhood school that's been newly renovated for them, and that's a problem.
Mr. Wells?
Well, the thing was, Eastern High School did not make annual yearly progress, one of the lowest performing high schools.
10 schools didn't make it.
And thank goodness, more than 5 years plus of how many years Eastern didn't cut the mustard. What I'm thankful for is we didn't lose Eastern High School. What we're doing essentially is reconstitution. It's one of the options in order to remake a school so you don't lose that school. And so we've been able to preserve Eastern High School as a public school. But what you had to do is we've essentially are phasing it out and reopening it as a reconstituted school next fall. It's one of the options under the No Child Left Behind Act. It's a way that we preserved Eastern for Ward 6. And I'm very proud of that. I'm glad we didn't lose the high school.
Both have taken, I know you want to get to another email.
Fine.
You've both taken the position that Michelle Rhee should stay, maybe be a little kinder and gentler to people, perhaps, but she should stay. What about Mayor Fenty in the race for mayor? Neither of you have endorsed in the mayor's race. I know, Mr. Wells, you've endorsed Kwame Brown in the chairman's race, but you've declined to take a position on the mayor's race. And even though you supported Fenty 4 years ago, and Mr. Robinson, I don't know where you were in 2006. Were you for Fenty this time? Or are you for Chairman Gray or one of the other candidates?
What do you mean you don't know where he was?
I don't know where he was politically.
Oh, I see.
And I do have a question about what he's been doing since he left as chief of staff, but that's next.
Wait on that.
Right. So in this mayor's race, what I've said repeatedly is that what my job will be as a council member.
Okay, you're not going to answer the question.
What my job will be as a council member is to work with either of
Right.
the folks that we elect as mayor.
But you have a
that's what we're
chance.
not. That's what's not happening now.
But you have a chance to influence who that person is. You don't. You don't have a strong enough difference. Are you going to vote in the mayor's race?
I'm absolutely going to vote, much like.
And you don't want to say how you're going to vote.
That'll be between.
What about you, Mr. Wells?
Well, as you know, I have a great relationship with Mayor Fenty and a great relationship with Vincent Gray, and that has worked well on behalf of the citizens of Ward 6. And also, I'm glad you noted, I have endorsed Kwame Brown. I really do believe he'll be a great partner for Ward 6. He shares the same vision I have for the ward, and I think that a
You
leadership
can't say
with
that
him
for
is
one of the
terrific.
candidates for mayor.
I think both of these guys have done great for Ward 6, and I have a great relationship with them both. I don't think it serves the citizens of Ward 6 for me to join a political camp on that.
Can I ask Mr. Robbins?